Hello, my name is Avi Villegas and I am a program coordinator from the Central Texas chapter of Con Mi Madre. Today we're going to be discussing things to consider during distance learning. Here at Con Mi Madre, we understand that some or most of our participants and students are on weeks 4 or 5 of online learning. So we wanted to emphasize and potentially give y'all some new tips or things to consider during this time. This video will include tips from the University of Alabama and Canva, a graphic design platform. Before we begin, keep in mind that this is a major transition for everyone: schools, parents, teachers, administrations, and students. There has been and will be a lot of hiccups as we all change our schedules and change our ways of communicating and learning. We are all adjusting, some of us better than others, and it is important to keep in mind that not all of us have an ideal amount of support or understanding of implementing this change. So take a deep breath and remember to be kind and patient to yourself, your families, and others. This video will consist of 6 tips that we deem the most important, but keep in mind that there are more tips that you value as a family that aren't mentioned. The first thing that we should all do is make and keep a plan. Calendar all deadlines ahead of time, including discussion posts, assignments, quizzes, and exams. From your calendar, create a schedule that works best for you and stick to it. This will help all of us stay organized, keep us motivated, and remind us to take a self-care/brain break. Some things you can do is look for a schedule online or even look at your school district's website. If writing down a schedule doesn't really work for you, but an app does, there are apps you can download such as My Study Life, My Homework app, or even a Google Calendar app. The second thing to consider is to locate and learn your tools. Some students are transitioning to Google Classrooms, others are on Zoom, and some are just doing packets at home. Whatever it is you're doing, make sure that you know what it is and how to do it. You can verify with your teacher or even with the school. Not all school districts are implementing the same change within the same schools, so make sure you call each individual school of the one your child attends to get that correct information. Some teachers are even giving the option of doing Zoom online or just packets, depending on if you have technological barriers at home. Whatever it is you're doing, you can always rely on a teacher or even a program coordinator or even an older child to help you get that information. The third thing to consider is to be attentive. Online and distance learning is difficult, and our at-home distractions can really affect our progress in our school and mental well-being. One thing you can do is put your phone on silent mode. This will help you not get distracted by the incoming calls or texts that you get. Another thing you can do is just delete the apps. Delete your Snapchat, delete your TikTok, delete your iMessenger, delete whatever apps you use for the day or just for the hour that you're doing your work. Something else that you can do is take notes. Taking notes is difficult during this time as it's concentrating, but taking notes can help you retain some of the information you're being taught. The third thing to do is teach what you learned. This is something that you probably have already learned at schools, and sometimes you probably already do. You can teach what you learned to a younger sibling, to a parent, to a guardian in their native language, or you can even make a TikTok about it. Just do something to help you retain that information. The fourth thing to keep in mind is to ask for help. If you need accommodations, ask for them. Talk to a parent, guardian, counselor, or even a program coordinator for help. Changing from an on-site environment to an online learning environment doesn't mean you don't need accommodations. If anything, it may mean that you need them now more than ever. One thing that you can do is message your teacher or even school counselor and let them know that you're feeling overwhelmed. They should be pretty understanding and should be able to give you extensions or extra support in another way. Another thing that you can do is talk to your parents, or parents talk to your students. Don't invalidate their feelings just because there seems to be less work right now. This transition is difficult not just physically but also mentally, and everyone needs extra support and patience right now. The fifth thing to keep in mind is the shifting and creating of new expectations. As we transition to an at-home learning environment, it is important to remind ourselves what our roles are. Some of our families are having a harder time with this transition because of a language and technological barrier, but this is an opportunity to try to learn how to best suit your children. One thing you can do is, if you have older children, keep in mind that you can ask them for help, but also remind yourself that they are still in school trying to maintain their own work, and it will be hard for them to do this if they have to be held responsible for your younger children's accountability and schoolwork. Allow the responsibilities when it comes to schoolwork to instead become a shared responsibility between you and your oldest child. They can help you when it comes to understanding schoolwork, but they will need your help when it comes to accountability. Also, feel free to reach out to a teacher or even a CMM staff member for help with this barrier. The last thing but not the least important thing is to take care of yourself. This does include observing physical distancing as well as washing your hands for 20 seconds, but also trying to maintain and even potentially improve your social connections. Keep in touch with friends, keep in touch with family. Make time to do things that you enjoy, such as baking, cooking, or even TikToks. Prioritize sleeping and eating well. Research does show us that doing these things will improve your learning. That is it for today. Hopefully these tips can and have helped you out make this transition easier. If you need any help, just remember that your Con Mi Madre Familia is always available. You can contact us at 512-467-4483, as well as contact us via our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and our emails. Feel free to let us know in the comments below if you're already doing any of these tips. And if you have other tips, feel free to share them with your Con Mi Madre Familia. Thank you and stay safe, y'all.